Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, yeah. Game of Thrones, yeah. Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, yeah. Game of Thrones, yeah.
Welcome to Game of Thrones chat, season 6, episode 2, Home. I'm Dan, and I am unsullied because I've not read the books of Song of Ice and Fire by George R. R. Martin.
And I'm Thomas. I'm double solid because I've read the books twice.
Alright, let's talk about Home.
Yes, let's talk about this episode. I love this episode. I think it was awesome, and it started well, and it was pretty good in the middle, and it's just ended awesome.
I have listened to so many podcasts about recent episodes, and I've decided to not state whether I like the episode or not. Because I got irritated at other people doing it. So I will stick to the facts. But okay. I do have questions.
Okay, let's start with the first scene there where we're beyond the wall and we see Blood Raven, or Three-Eyed Raven as they call him here.
Yes.
And Bran, they're like entangled in the root system of the weirwood tree.
Yes, so we have a recast Three-Eyed Raven.
Mm-hmm. Our beloved Max von Sydow.
Yeah, we can't object to Max von Sydow because he's ancient and he's awesome. Swedish. Yeah. He has been around since forever. He is in the highest rated Swedish movie on IMDb, The Seventh Seal, which is from 1957, where he has the leading role.
Yeah.
So Max von Sydow is extremely old.
Yes, and good.
230 years old. But
he's older than Blood Raven.
The recasting is so brutal because they removed the beard. He has no similarities to the other guy except that they are both old and stuck in the tree.
Yeah, I get the feeling that they didn't really contemplate what they wanted Blood Raven to be like back in season 4 when we just saw him in one scene.
Yeah, so if you 2 years ago when couldn't you like contract people for later? They know these characters would reappear.
But Max von Sydow is 87. Do you want to contract an 85-year-old man to play something in 2 years from now?
But the question remains for Leaf. But of course that person would be 2 years older. The Child of the Forest.
Yeah, they totally remade the makeup of that Child of the Forest.
Yeah, and the actor is, I think, 8 years older than the old actor. So now it's the hot Asian teen of the forest.
I think in both cases they didn't really contemplate this very much. And then they figured, okay, we're going to do it right this time.
I feel like they fired the director from episode 10 of season 4.
Okay, I don't know which.
Because the choices for the Child of the Forest is so different.
Yeah, it's more alien.
Very much alien.
Yeah.
I didn't even see that it was a Japanese actor.
Mm-hmm. I just saw it
before I saw the actor.
The old Child of the Forest looked just like a child basically, and this was very different.
Yes. So, they have a vision of Winterfell.
Yes, a flashback past. You might call it, although they don't do flashbacks in this show, except for that one Cersei flashback last season. So this is not really a flashback because it's a vision, a green-seeing vision, I guess, but...
It's a slippery slope. In the next season we'll see flash forward and flash sideways. We've seen Lost, we know how this goes.
Exactly. So then they witness Ned and Benjen sparring on the courtyard.
Yes.
Under the watchful eye of Sir Roderick Castle.
I knew Benjen would be back.
I thought first that the guy watching was Brandon Stark, their bigger brother, but I think the mutton shops gives it away that it's actually Sir Roderick Castle.
Yes, and that's confirmed from the list of actors. And
then we see Hodor talking.
Yes, and he's not Hodor.
He's Willis. So apparently he talked at one point.
Yes.
And now he doesn't.
And this reminds me of that theory that Hodor actually means something. That he is saying something.
You're thinking about our episode, the top 10 crazy fan theories?
Yes.
That is one possibility. There are other possibilities. But I think maybe we will see this season why he's doing what he's doing.
I think so.
Yeah. That would be interesting.
There was a lot of acting in the Hodors from Hodor in this scene.
Yeah. And he wanted to spar with Benjen, but old Nan said no, he's a stable boy. He's not supposed to do the lordly fighting thing.
And old Nan back as well. Very nice.
She's supposed to be his great-grandmother, Hodor's great-grandmother. But she looked too young there to be his great-grandmother. She looked more like a grandmother, but...
Yes.
But whatever. But one thing that I reacted was that Lyanna looked older than Ned.
Okay.
Did you think so too? Or...
Yeah, absolutely. A lot older.
But in the books, she is younger.
Okay.
It goes Brandon, Ned, Lyanna, Benjen.
Okay.
But here they reverse those two. I don't know if that will... If it just has to do with casting or if it will be a meaning or something, so...
Yeah, it seems to be intentional because it looked very obvious that she was older.
Yeah.
And she looked way cooler than her brothers.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and then Bran wants to keep watching, but he's not allowed to because Freya Draven brings him back.
It's amazing the way Max von Sydow delivers lines, because the line was a bit corny, I think, but coming from him, it was epic.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it was great.
It's beautiful beneath the sea, but if you stay too long, you drown.
Yeah, so better go back. And he has been having visions for over a year here, then. Yeah. Since season 4, and this was the first vision he liked. What has he been seeing?
Static.
Yeah, so...
His modem has just been trying to reconnect to the weirwood net.
I think the Three-Eyed Raven has shown him like everything about nature, like squirrels and stuff.
Yeah. And then we also have a scene where Bran goes to talk to Mera, and then the Leaf, the child of the forest, consoles her that he will need you soon.
Yeah, first off, in this scene, Hodor carries Bran. Who, by the way, looks 20 years older than last time we saw him. Yeah. It's the Max von Sydow haircut.
And 12 feet longer.
They share the same haircut. It's like the Vision haircut. Max von Sydow and Bran. But Hodor drops Bran like 3 meters behind me. That's no way to have a conversation. He's lounging there. And she's really moopy.
Maybe they wanted him to be further away so you couldn't see how big he was compared to Mera.
That could be it.
I don't know.
But yeah, she's really behaving like Jon Snow, looking like Jon Snow. She's the, I am moopy.
Oh,
I have curly hair.
She's the new Jon Snow.
Yes, but yeah, we can have 2 of those, I guess.
What do you mean? We only have 1? Or wait a minute.
So she's like, what am I doing here? This is boring.
Yeah.
Maybe she represents the Watchers when looking at Bran's plot. It's like he is having visions and I don't understand. That sort of summary of the Bran plot.
He's sitting there surfing the weirwood net and she doesn't have a connection. Imagine how boring that would be.
Yes. But then the hot Asian teen of the forest tells her that she has a role to play.
Yes.
And I am really scared about the Bran plot. This is like the magic card. This is like the anything can happen card.
He can do anything.
Yes. So, oh wow, we turned into super wizard and solved everything in the last episode.
Yeah.
And I have a hard time seeing this leading to good storytelling. They are trying to make it do that, but I'm scared of Bran. I was happy when Bran was gone last season, but of course he would be back. I am, though, awaiting the return of Rickon, and I think we'll see him this season as well.
Hopefully.
In the care of the Umbers, mentioned in this episode.
Yeah, but we'll get to that later.
Yes.
We'll try to go through this chronologically.
Off to the wall!
To the wall, we have Ser Davos trying to protect the body of Jon Snow or something, or we don't know exactly what his motivation is, but...
Yeah, we questioned this, but okay, maybe they don't care much about the body of Jon Snow now. No, they just care about survival.
Yeah.
And they don't, bring Melisandre even. She's off in a room.
Yeah.
Feeling bad about herself.
Exactly, so Alistair Thorne and...
But somehow Davos got Longclaw, right? He's drawing Longclaw.
I didn't notice that. Maybe... He was holding it, yeah. Okay, yes.
So I think maybe this caring about Jon Snow's... after all, Davos is a smuggler. He cares about wealth.
Yeah.
So this all care about Jon Snow plot, maybe that is just to greed Longclaw. Just to distracting these Nightwatch guys while he takes Longclaw and runs away at an opportune moment.
But he already got horses and some mutton. If he asks for Longclaw, he might get that too.
Probably not.
Okay.
But okay, and this, I feel that we have lost a serious component of Game of Thrones. And this episode is a clear marker of that. I think one of the great things with this series has been its unpredictability. Mm-hmm. And here I could, like, when they started beating down the door, I knew the giant was coming in through the gate. I was like counting the blows, and this will be the big one. That was the big one. And it was so predictable.
I agree that
and the timing, it's just convenient timing. There's absolutely zero reason why it happens at this exact moment.
Yeah.
Except for cheap storytelling effects.
Dramatic effect, yeah.
Yes, and this series has been above that.
Mm-hmm.
Probably because we were with the books.
Yeah.
That were above that, but this felt so cheap.
I agree that some of this was... this particular thing felt predictable. But I still think there's unpredictability left in the show.
Of course there is not zero unpredictability, but it has become a lot more predictable.
Mm-hmm. But were you absolutely sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, just like Brienne last episode.
Yeah.
I should film myself calling these things.
Okay, so you weren't too happy with that, but
I was really happy about 1-1 slapping that guy against the wall. That part was super good.
I liked Sir Davos' quote there. I've never been much of a fighter. Apologies for what you're about to see.
Yeah, this actor is amazing. I think he delivers everything. So he's super good.
Yeah, and
as is Alistair Thorne.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's now thrown in a cell, as is Ollie.
Yeah, and I think this was also weird because the wildlings hate the Night's Watch. Mm-hmm. They have waited for an opportunity to kill the Night Watch. Mm-hmm. And here, like, nobody dies. It's like, oh, throw down your weapon. They don't even...
They kill a couple of guys, but not...
Yeah, they kill a couple of guys, but they don't...
They could have killed
we don't see their hatred. They are also just caring about Jon Snow's body, you get to feel. But their motivation is gone. And
they seem very disciplined.
Yeah, they seem super disciplined.
And they're not.
No, and they're like, oh yeah, now we have the wall. There should be like a great moment. Why do we care about these guys? But they're like taking orders from Ed Tollett. These are not the wildlings, these are the tamelings.
Yeah, a massacre would have been more likely.
Yes, and a massacre would be more Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. But who was really arrested?
Only Sir Alistair Thorne. Looked like just the two of them.
Why?
Because everybody else gave up.
When I saw this scene the first time, I was convinced that everybody was arrested. But
I don't think so.
You're right, it was.
Yeah, I think it was just the two of them. Not even Bowen Marsh looked like he was arrested. Maybe he was arrested off camera. Or...
Yeah, it was unclear, but this scene left me wanting.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's move to another scene.
I did like Ed Tollett, actually. Yeah. He was like rising up. Maybe he's the new Lord Commander, as Jon is now freed from his vows.
Maybe they don't have that many options anymore.
Yeah, maybe there is no Night's Watch. Or the Night's Watch is the wildlings, but we'll talk more about that.
You want to move to King's Landing then?
Yes.
Where we have Mr. Big Mouth. I don't know what his name is, but he's a big mouth.
Yeah, I liked him.
You liked him?
Yeah, he was...
he liked himself?
He reminded me of that bard in Season 1 that sang... or in Season 2 that sang bad things about King Robert and Joffrey and...
Oopsie daisy.
Yes. But... And he meets his glorious end when Frankenmountain shows up.
Yeah.
And he pees on his armor, very nice. But my big question here is, why does Frankenmountain show up here? How does he know about this? I felt that he's kept in the Red Keep, guarding Cersei. Mm-hmm. He's kind of a secret. He's not something you want the citizens of King's Landing to see.
Yeah.
But now he's like ninjaing around in Flea Bottom, looking for people who are dissing Cersei.
Well, if you know the real reason, it's because the showmakers wanted to show how strong the mountain is. and they wanted to show something funny and violent.
Yeah, but I think the Mountain could have done this before he transformed.
Yeah. But I'm just talking about why they did it in the show.
Yeah.
But then if you want to have a logic behind it, well, back from season 1 that Cersei has her own spies.
Yes.
And so the spies will tell her about stuff like that. And then it's conceivable that she tells the Mountain to go and look for so-and-so.
Yeah, and she looks at him when he comes back and sees the blood.
Yeah.
So, and she smells the urine.
So she sent him.
So maybe she sent him, but if she sent him, or maybe she could have sent the spy along with him to show him who he was going to kill.
Yeah.
Because I can't see him like hanging around in a dark corner in the bar. But who is it? Oh, it's that guy. Okay, I'm gonna get him.
Yeah.
But he seems to be quite capable of independent thought.
Unless he had a handler with him or something there, like you said.
Yeah, unless he was just released into that corridor.
Maybe he was just walking around and smacking heads.
maybe they're like 500 dead from that night.
But I think what we were supposed to take from that scene is that Cersei has spies and the Mountain...
I would like to see some Cersei spies, because I remember her having spies, but it feels like she has neglected her spy network.
Yeah. After Walk of Shame, some of the spies might have taken up other... But then again...
But that's a good explanation, thank you. It made me, made me like this scene more.
And also with Varys gone, there might be spies that don't have a spy master, so they might go to Cersei.
Yeah, Littlefinger's gone too. Cersei is the only spy employer in King's Landing.
Well, maybe there's other people with... But there might be more work and less spy masters, so yeah.
So it's like the work agency for spies. They're like, who is employing? Oh, Cersei is hiring. She's a cat. Salary's in third, but we have to work for her.
Yeah, and we have no respect for her after Walk of Shame, but who cares?
No, we just want payment. Okay, and then she decides to go on a walk with Frankenmountain. And
they're not allowed because of the Lannister guards.
And I think there was some great acting from the Lannister guards.
Yeah.
They looked so scared.
Yeah, all 20 of them, like, we don't want to fight the Mountain.
And that she decided to not waste Lannister guards on this.
The old Cersei would be like, okay, Mountain, make a path.
Yes.
But now, it seems like she has learned something, maybe.
Maybe she has. Or maybe she's just unsure of how strong he is. Yeah. Because this was quite a challenge.
Yeah, I think, you can't know which way it's going to go. But the old Cersei will be like, whatever, attack.
I'm a little surprised at their orders. Why she wasn't allowed to go to the funeral.
Well, Tommen gave the orders. He isn't ruled by logic alone.
No, maybe he wanted to protect her or something. But I felt that
isn't that what they said? That...
Did he say that?
I think they said so, that they didn't want her to be exposed. He wanted her to be in the Red Keep for safekeeping.
Was she supposed to return to the Faith Militant?
No, she was supposed to.
She's just waiting for her trial.
She confessed. She confessed, so then she could go home via Walk of Shame, and then there's going to be a trial. But now I don't know where the trial is going to be, because it's been weeks and there's still no trial. So
yeah, but the bureaucracy.
So exactly, bureaucracy. Yeah, that's what King's Landing is ruled with, bureaucracy.
So this scene was great, especially compared to the next one,
where Tommen and Jaime is in the Sept. You mean, or is it the one with Tommen?
Yes.
Okay.
In the Sept, Tommen and Jaime.
Oh, I thought you meant the scene after that. But yeah, okay, so you don't like the scene with Tommen and Jaime in the Sept?
I like the father to son talk. I think great acting on Jaime's part here.
Yeah.
It's you really feel that he had this connecting moment with his daughter, and now this is his only remaining kid.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to be a dad.
Uncle Daddy.
Yes. However, the Sept is... It is some distance away from the Red Keep, right?
Yes.
So they have come here.
Yes.
With guards, probably.
Yes.
With King's guards, with Lannister guards, with gold cloaks, maybe even. Probably not.
Perhaps.
But they're not in the sept.
They're outside.
Yeah, they have to wait outside.
Yeah, they're not going to go there alone. It's go through half the city.
And this is where the High Sparrow hangs out. This is his home turf.
Yeah.
So him showing up there, not very strange. And
his thugs showing up, not very strange.
No, not very strange either. And perhaps they didn't bring their soldiers, the Lannister guards, etc., into the... Yeah, so it all makes sense.
Yeah.
And Jaime not stabbing the High Sparrow. And the High Sparrow being... He's so questioned by the fandom. It's like, he must have a dark agenda. But I feel that he's 100% honest all the time. That
it could be
like,
just pious.
Yeah, it seems just pious.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like to see. I mean, you have Jaime threatening High Sparrow and High Sparrow threatening Jaime.
I'm starting to like this scene. I take back everything I said.
Yeah. Okay, let's hate the next scene then.
Yeah, of course, Tommen is... Is he acting badly, or is the character... Is it the character? I don't know, but...
the character flaw or acting flaw?
It works, I think.
It works for me.
Yeah. And then he goes to his mother.
Yeah, do you think Jaime could have fought his way out of the sept?
No, definitely not. He wouldn't stand a chance. He can't fight without his hand.
Would the old Jaime been able to fight his way out of the sept?
Yes, the old Jaime would have been able to.
I agree.
Would he have done it, though?
I think so. I think the old Jaime would have done it.
No. So...
but he has to weigh his...
Makes sense.
Yeah. So yes, changed too. Losing the hand changed him. Not just physically, but mentally also. Yeah,
and apparently his fatherly advice worked, because Tommen goes to Cersei.
Yes, and they have a nice reconnect moment.
They do.
Which was perhaps the least interesting scene. But
it didn't convey much information, but I kind of liked it, and I felt that Lena Headey was acting very well here, and that she was showing that this is her last remaining child, and she knows that he's going to die.
Oh.
And that she sort of distances herself while still caring very much about him. So I really like this scene. Actually, I know I'm like the only one in the world that like this scene.
Okay, let's move to Meereen.
Meereen!
We have a small council meeting here with Tyrion and Varys, Grey Worm and Missandei.
Small council meetings, always a good thing. Exactly. Love them. Yeah. I want to see the small council in King's Landing.
Yeah, me too. And we have... and Tyrion here tells us that dragons are intelligent.
Yes, Tyrion. So much good stuff coming out of his mouth in this scene.
And how does he know this?
Because he knows things. That's what he does. He drinks and he knows things.
That's awesome.
And the dwarf yoke line that... I make unique yokes, you make dwarf yokes. I do not make dwarf yokes. You think them? Wow.
If I didn't have a cock, I would drink all the time, no offense.
It's Peter
funny
Dinklage.
because it's true.
Fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's one thing I really wonder about here. Because he asks Missandei, do the dragons know you? Did they ever harm you, etc.? So he learns the information. She has some sort of affinity with the dragons.
Yeah.
And then he brings Varys to the dragons. Why didn't he bring her?
Oopsie daisy. Maybe he knows about our top 10 crazy fan theories about Varys.
Yeah, or he just knows that Varys is almighty
or something.
Really good to have. But it felt so weird that he brought Varys.
Yeah, I think that... I mean, I got the feeling that was just rhetorical questions. That, come on, Missandei, you know that they haven't killed you yet, so why...
Of course they were, but I want to see Missandei on the dragons.
I didn't think about it, but now you make a good point. He should have brought her instead. She should have a lot more affinity with it than Varys, because he's never even seen the dragons, probably.
And I'm wondering a little bit too about why everyone is accepting Varys, because Varys has never been accredited by Daenerys.
Well, Tyrion probably vouched for him.
Yeah, so we take in this weird dwarf because Daenerys says that we should.
Yeah,
and then he brings a friend. It's like,
well, Grey Worm...
Anyone can be on the small council of Meereen.
Well, Grey Worm doesn't know anything about ruling. No. And Missandei doesn't know very much about ruling either, so...
But I feel like they have accepted Varys way too easily.
Okay. Well, maybe, yeah. Let's say that they had a big discussion beforehand that we didn't show off.
Let's show these things, please.
Maybe later. But instead they go down to the dragons.
Oh.
And they looked intelligent. So
they did, and...
they didn't eat, or at least they didn't eat him, so...
I was really skeptical of this scene first, but then Peter Dinklage won me over.
Yeah.
With as soon as he starts to tell a story about anything, I am just captivated. And I think this should have been his great love for dragons should have been mentioned at some point earlier in the show.
Yeah.
But it was fantastic.
It was mentioned earlier, I think, in the books, but not in the show. But yeah.
And another weird thing is that Daenerys always speaks Valyrian to the dragons, right? But he can just speak common tongue or English.
So maybe they don't really understand the language; they just understand the tone of it,
or maybe they understand thoughts or something.
Yeah, maybe they're telepathic.
Because
or empathic or something.
There was some great acting from the second dragon. They are impossible to tell apart. Can you tell them apart?
No.
But the second
not
dragon,
in the dark at least,
exposing his neck.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, that showed intelligence.
I learned a lot about special effects from this scene and hearing people speak about this scene. Because apparently the fire is real. So they act against like things that emit fire.
Oh.
So that's why the fire always looks so good. Because it is really fire.
Yeah.
But if you have a dark backdrop like this... the dragon effects are much easier to make and much easier to make look convincing because you don't have to play with sun shadows and like backgrounds in different colors and stuff. So here it's really easy to make good dragons, and I felt that they did.
Let's hope they don't keep them in the dungeon just for that.
No, and weren't the dragons much smaller when they were imprisoned?
They looked the same size to me, but
they did. How did they get into that door? In through that door?
I don't think they went in through that door.
They went in through another door.
Yeah.
That's the explanation.
Yeah.
Okay, I felt that they had grown, but I wasn't certain about that. So I can drop that.
I don't know. They may have grown, or
because they obviously could not grow with the chains around the neck.
Yeah.
Because they would die.
Yeah.
So maybe they were actually stunted in their growth, just like he said. So they should now be even smaller than Drogon.
Yes.
And these guys, Viserion and...
Rhaegal,
I think.
They're named after her brothers. So Viserys becomes Viserion.
Yes.
And Rhaegal...
They're really super well behaved.
Rhaegal becomes Rhaegal. Oh, yeah, I don't know.
They've never done anything bad, have they? It's all Drogon. They're like they
Why are we saying that?
Yeah, they stayed with Daenerys. Like, oh, random dwarf comes in. Let's be nice to him.
Yeah.
They're super friendly dragons.
The nice dragons.
And of course, this leads to the vision of Tyrion riding a dragon, and that's all I want to see in the series.
And then die.
That's Tyrion. Tyrion riding a dragon. It's coming.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on to Braavos.
Yes.
We have Arya and the Waif fighting with sticks.
Just like last time, very good. Let's keep this up.
And then she disappears and there's Jaqen. Does the Waif exist?
I think it was the same Faceless Man.
Is it just... So the Waif doesn't exist, it's just an incarnation of Jaqen?
Obviously two Faceless men exist at least.
Because
we've seen them in the same room.
Oh, in the end of last season where...
Yeah, and several times I think Jaqen and the Waif has been in the same
I don't know at all.
place.
I mean, first I thought, okay, why the Waif is just an incarnation of Jaqen, and then I'm like, wait a minute, Jaqen is just an incarnation of something else?
I think there should be more than one Faceless Man. I think one Faceless Man can take one appearance, but he can't be two people at the same time. So...
That makes sense, but we can't be sure.
But I think in this case it was the same Faceless Man.
Yeah.
Because we only see one.
Yeah.
I think this... I wanted this to go on for long. I know Maisie Williams herself has said that you won't like the Arya stuff this season.
Oh.
Because... and I thought it would be her getting beaten up every episode. Or like... this episode, and then in episode 8, and then this would happen in like episode 9 or something.
Yeah.
But it felt fast forwarded to me. It felt very easy. Just answer. A girl has no name to every question, and you're safe.
So like episode 1 and episode 5, we see her sitting there begging and being abused, and then episode 10 she's taking back.
No, maybe episode 9, because something cool needs to happen at the end.
Okay.
But I felt there was some hesitation from Arya in the third when she was offered her sight back. But it seems so obvious to just answer a girl has no name.
Yeah.
And then she is at least advancing to the next stage of her training.
Yeah.
And the training itself will probably be going on all season. And this was just lesson 4 or something.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to Winterfell then.
Yes, not much else to say about Braavos.
In Winterfell we have Roose and Ramsay and Lord Karstark, the new Lord of the Karstarks.
Yes, the last remaining son of the Lord Karstark that Robb Stark executed.
And they now know that the hunting party that chased Sansa is dead.
Yes.
Although, I mean, when they didn't come back after several days, they would have probably figured something. But now they know. And they then talk about Ramsay, he wants to storm Castle Black to kill Jon Snow.
Yeah.
And Roose says that's kind of stupid because then they will rally the whole North against you.
Yeah, it seems that the Ramsay or the Boltons are in a bad spot. People don't like them. They're usurpers, and they need to think about their policies and the way they appear to the Lords of the North.
Yeah.
And now they've lost the Stark they had as well. So now Ramsay will have to marry Rickon.
Yes. And then we learn something. As a strategist, I always listen to stuff like, okay, they say the Umbers plus the Mandalors plus the Karstarks. Those 3 houses are stronger than all the other houses in the north combined.
Yes, and we know the Umbers, and we know that Rickon is hopefully there. We have never heard of the Mandalays before in the show, were they mentioned?
In the show, no, I don't think so.
There might have been someone in season 1 at the great scene there who were supposed to be a Mandalay, but we weren't told about it.
I do not think they have been mentioned.
Maybe somebody wore their
the merman.
insignia or
The merman is their insignia.
This is the most southern house of the north, right? In White Harbor.
I think the Reeds are even further south because they're at the neck.
Yeah, but
the Mandalors, they control White Harbor, which is the biggest city in the north. So they're probably the richest of all the houses in the north.
It's bigger than Winterfell.
Oh yeah, it's bigger than or Wintertown, which is outside of Winter. Yeah.
Okay.
So they're bigger, and they probably have more. They're probably more Mandalay soldiers than Stark soldiers, but Stark controls them. So that way, Stark should be more powerful.
All right, so that's interesting.
Yeah, and the Karstarks, we know that they're strong, and because remember when they left after Robb Stark killed Lord Karstark, the Karstarks left, and they talked about they lost so much of their cavalry.
Yes.
And
I can totally buy why Lord Karstark here is against the Starks and for the Boltons.
But in the books, there's like 50 different northern houses or something. But I think here they have streamlined it down to just a few houses, so it's easier to keep track of it. And they say, okay, 50%.
Yeah, I still get the impression that there are 50 houses, but that most of them are small and insignificant. So.
Yeah. Okay, so they talk about that, and then there's some happy news.
Yes, there's a son.
Yeah, and then there's no more a father.
No, and this scene was also super predictable. We've talked about it earlier, and
Not to me.
We talked about that he was in danger.
Okay.
And when he made him, when Roose made Ramsay his heir, that was that's a dangerous move. And it was a dangerous move.
Yeah.
And the one thing we learned about Roose Bolton is that he is a schemer. He has plans.
Yeah.
He plans for...
Yeah. He's really smart.
Different things to happen. And he has never seen this. He has not thought about the possibility that his psychopath son would kill him. It seems like the first thing I would think about.
I never thought that Ramsay would get the drop on Roose.
No, and he seems so oblivious to the danger.
Yeah.
And it would have been so easy to like send the child away and say that it was a daughter and take some random baby daughter, or just imprison Ramsay.
Kill Ramsay because he's gonna finish him off sooner or later.
So like when Walda has a child, contact me, bring all the guards.
Yeah.
And I will deal with Ramsay, but there's like no planning. But it seems that Ramsay has done some planning, judging either Lord Karstark is totally a psychopath too and he's going with the flow, or he knew about this because he has zero reaction to these events.
Yeah, it looked like he was expecting this.
Yeah, so he seems to have been in on it. And they're like the new generation of Northern Lords, much more badass than the old generation.
Well, you know what I think? I think that people like to hate Ramsay more than they like to hate Roose.
Yes.
So on TV, they figure that people's going to be more interested in to see him.
So you think this will not play out this way in the books?
Should I talk about the books here?
Probably not.
Okay, so that's what I think anyway. I think that I think it's affected. I mean, now they don't have the books. There's still stuff in the books left, but they have less and less to do with the books. So now they can make other decisions based on other things. They can make characters smaller or bigger. They killed off a lot of characters that are still alive in the books.
Yes.
And they can then have some other characters live that are dead in the books because they get good crowd reception.
And now we have to... earlier, when somebody dies, if we see them die, they are dead. But now that doesn't apply anymore because of events in this episode, and we don't see Roose Bolton's body burn, so he could still be a vampire.
Well, we don't see Lady Walda or the baby.
I think they are pretty dead.
They're pretty disintegrated. Did you hear what Ramsay said? He said, I prefer being a lonely child.
That's a great line too. Lots of great lines in this episode.
Yeah, great lines, absolutely.
And I felt that was something that was lacking in last season.
So many
probably because of the Sand Snake dialogue, but now we had a lot of great lines in this episode. So that's fun to see again. And
there's no problem. There's no problem hating Ramsay. If anybody didn't.
No, he is like coming off even worse than Joffrey.
Yeah, he's the new guy to hate.
What did you think of the dog scene?
It was brutal. What did you think?
I thought it was toned down almost. Now, of course, it was brutal, but we didn't get to see anything. So
we saw him instead of her.
Yeah. So it was very. I felt they had listened to criticism of the series and sort of.
I know, it's kind of the same
were
thing.
Nicer than expected.
It's kind of like when Ramsay had sex with Sansa after their wedding.
Yes.
And they focused on Theon instead of focusing on Sansa and Ramsay.
Yeah.
But I think that was really good because Theon did a great job there, acting terrified.
Yes.
Whereas Ramsay just looked like it was raining.
like it was something he did every day, which it probably is. So I have no objection to this. I think it was the natural conclusion of the kill my dad plot.
Yeah, absolutely. So.
But what will Walder Frey think about this?
Oh, he will not like it. Although he has 20 daughters to spare, so I'm not sure how much he cares.
Yeah, but he doesn't want them to be dog food.
No. And he did give away her weight in silver to Roose, so...
Yes.
So he wants the silver back, probably.
So now all the sudden alliances of the Boltons are gone, and now everyone hates them in the south as well.
Yeah, it's...
Because they have broken with the Lannisters, and now they've broken with the Freys.
Yeah, so they have to find some other allies.
Yeah, the strong northern houses, of which Karstark is the only one we know is on their side.
Yeah. They're going to work for Umber and Manderly then, yeah.
So they seem to be totally unaware of the wildlings having passed the wall.
Yes, but
that will probably play in.
Yeah, news carries slow there, so...
Yeah.
Unless you send the Raven specifically for something.
You feel that some Northern Lord would complain that there are 5,000 wildlings in the area?
Well, it depends on if they stand up there in the Gift or if they move further south.
So there are no lords in the Gift?
No.
Oh, it belongs to the Night's Watch.
Yeah, it belongs to the Night's Watch. It's a stretch of land.
Of course, that's why it's the Gift.
Yes. And then we have the next scene here with Brienne and Sansa and Pod and Theon.
Yes.
Brienne tells Sansa that she met Arya, and she was with a man. She doesn't mention that the man that Arya was with was the Hound.
Did she know? She must have known.
Didn't Podrick say it's the Hound?
Yes, he did. Yes.
And Sansa knows who the Hound is.
That's a bit strange. I did love this scene. I think this is something that has been missing a lot. This is felt so natural that Sansa finally cared about her sister.
Yeah.
Which was great.
Yeah, they I saw her did blah blah blah. Yeah, explaining.
But this felt like what these two characters should be talking about.
Yeah. Yes. And then Theon says that he want to go home.
And what does he mean by home?
I think it means Iron Islands.
I have a little theory that it doesn't. That because I feel that he has too easily gotten rid of the Reek persona.
Okay.
And that possibly, just possibly, maybe 3% chance, but that as they do not clarify that it is home, but they switch to Pike in the next scene, making us believe that that is what he means by home. But what else could home mean for Reek?
Winterfell.
Yes. So maybe Theon, this is just an off chance, but I just wanted to mention it in case I'm right.
Yeah.
Maybe home means Winterfell, and Theon is going back, possibly to kill Ramsay, which would be very rewarding.
Well, he says that he doesn't want to be forgiven.
No.
So it's like, if you don't want to be forgiven, what do you want to do then? Well, do you want to die in the blaze of glory, or?
Yes, kill Ramsay.
But why does he say I want to go home? Okay, so that's just to confuse everybody.
No, because that is home. He is brainwashed still.
So he's brainwashed that Winterfell is home. Okay, I think that's.
I just wanted to mention it in case it is correct.
Okay, that's a crazy fan theory right there. But
yeah, it is.
Yeah. Okay. So then we move on to the Iron Islands.
Yes.
We have Balon and Yara here talking about that the Glovers have retaken Deepwood Motte.
Yes. And here the timing of the episodes in the show is very confusing. How long has Yara been back at the Iron Islands? It should have been over a year. Yeah,
I don't know. She did try to free Theon. Was it season
4? Season
4. Well, okay, so she has traveled all the way around Westeros probably by ship.
Yeah, and
but we don't really know.
Okay, let's not dwell on that. But
I don't have a good explanation. But
so I don't think we should expect a consistent timeline at this point. Things just happen in some order.
Yes, and then we have the Balon going out on that bridge.
Yes,
because that castle it's like a bunch of different towers with bridges in between. It kind of sucks when it rains.
Yes, and I don't know why they didn't build real bridges, but maybe it was rough. Yeah, and then... Did they bring the building material for the last tower over these bridges?
That's a good question. Or maybe they built the castle. First, they built the castle, and then the part of the castle fell out from under them, and then I don't know. I don't remember exactly how it's explained. Okay, so then he's walking on this bridge, and he runs into somebody.
Yeah, someone who is hooded.
Someone who says brother to him. So I think we're supposed to take away from the scene that he's his brother.
Yeah.
And we're going to call him Euron, because we have some information that it might be his brother Euron. And we're also supposed to take away from the scene that he has been away for a long time, right?
A very long time.
Yes, so he's back.
Yes.
And he is crazy.
He is pretty crazy and very awesome, I think. He seems very cool.
I am the storm. More good quotes. I am the drowned god. What is dead may never die. And then they fight, and Euron wins.
Yes.
And then he disappears, it seems. Or something. I don't know. The next scene is the funeral.
Yeah, he wasn't there, right?
That's right.
So this seems like he had some help. Because if I was Balon Greyjoy and I knew I had this pirate crazy guy as my brother,
yeah,
the third brother is the priest, right?
The guy with the long hair there.
Yes.
He's called Damp Hair.
Yeah.
He's the high priest of Drangod. Yes, I'm gonna say yes because I have read the books. And
Okay, I think they said that.
They said that?
Or maybe that was in the list of characters for the episode.
Well, in the books he has a brother called Damp Hair, who's the high priest.
Okay.
So I think that's...
But if you had this crazy smaller brother who would be very likely to usurp you as they are Iron Islanders and they paid Iron price, etc. My standing orders to my guards would be like, if my brother shows up, detain him and alert me. Do not let him wander.
Yeah. I agree. Maybe he bribed his way in or something.
Yeah, maybe he had help. Maybe people are not very happy with Balon because of his poor success in the war.
Yeah.
And I love that Yara said that the Iron Islanders could defeat people on the sea, but they didn't do very well on land. We've truly seen that. They lose every time they fight anyone.
Yeah. Exactly, but well, I like this. If I can mention the books a little bit, in the books we don't get this scene on the bridge. We just get the news that Balon has fallen from a bridge and died.
Much earlier, like in book 3, right?
Yeah. So exactly. So and then there has been a lot of discussions who did what and so on. Did Euron send a faceless man? Is Euron a faceless man? And so on. But here we just go, okay, so Euron did it. And he didn't do it in a faceless way, but maybe he used his faceless skills to get in there.
I think a lot of watchers of the show was confused that who is this guy? I saw a count of 75 important characters you need to keep track of in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And he's not on the list because we haven't seen him before.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of viewers were confused that, oh, I should remember this guy. It's some sort of season 2 guy. Oh, I'm so worthless. But I think it was all compensated by how cool he was.
Yeah, let's hope we'll see more of him. Maybe at the Kingsmoot.
Yeah, obviously. He seems to be a pretty big improvement over anyone else from the Iron Islands, including Theon.
So you think he's going for a power grab then?
I want to see him as the king of the Iron Islands.
Yeah.
I am on team Euron Greyjoy.
He's going to ally with Ed Toilet, I think.
Yes, Ed Toilet and Euron Greyjoy. Oh, we have stooped too low now.
Yeah. Well, I love it. I love what I see here, and because this is a scene. This is something that is from the later books, from the early books, that I thought that they had just cut out and were not going to show.
Yeah.
So now we get this stuff, and I like this plot line.
Yeah.
And also, this means the fact that we're now in season 6, and the grabbing stuff that's always supposed to happen means that they don't feel rushed. They feel that they can take old stuff and use. So there's not going to be like 7 seasons. There's going to be 8 or 9 or 10. There's going to be more seasons.
Yeah, we know that there will be more than 7 seasons at this point, I think.
Okay, but
it's official.
Yeah, but they're not rushing through it anyway. So
that's great.
So we're going to have more seasons. That's what that tells us.
Yes. I think it was a very scenic scene. It was very visually pleasing. Yes. I also think a lot of other interesting stuff happened in this scene, as Balon mentioned that the War of the Five Kings is now over.
Yeah.
And all the 5 kings are dead.
Except me.
Then he dies.
Yeah.
So it's a great George R.R. Martin ending that everyone dies.
The war is over.
I also like how this scene played into the later scene, in that Melisandre's curse, the Leech curse, finally took effect on Balon Greyjoy. Showing that her power is real. Were it just coincidences? Possibly, but it is an argument for her power.
So did her power steer then Euron Greyjoy to do this? Or?
I don't know. The Lord of Light works in mysterious ways.
Okay. Well, I like it anyway. You want to move on to the wall again?
Oh, yes. Are we already there?
Yes, and we have Melisandre and Sir Davos, and he's talking about miracles, and I've seen you do things, come on. You can do it!
Once again question Davos' motivation. I've looked back on the old scenes, and it seems that he realized that Stannis was dead at the end of last season.
Yeah.
When Melisandre shows up. But feel that he still should have questions about Shireen and about the Baratheon soldiers.
Yeah.
But he doesn't care about any of that. He just cares about that Jon Snow has to return.
Yeah.
And why? Why is he so obsessed with this?
And he used to hate Melisandre.
Yes.
Another bosom buddies.
So he doesn't believe in her power. Or he does believe in her powers, but he doesn't like her god. He met Jon Snow like 2 times.
Yeah.
Why is he so obsessed with Jon Snow? It seems like he's just working in the interest of the viewers.
Yeah.
And he's just a plot device here, and it feels so cheap. Like the other things I complained about in this episode. It's lazy storytelling. This could easily have been conveyed by someone who actually cared about Jon.
Yeah.
And for some reason knew that the Red God had something to do with resurrection. But what is Davos doing? It's like...
Yeah, I think what they should have done instead, they should have had Melisandre go, wait a minute.
Yes.
I've been praying to the Lord of Light to show me visions of Azor Ahai, the prince that was promised, my Messiah, and all he shows me is snow.
Yeah. And they still haven't...
Snow!
Oh!
No! Again. Because that's mentioned in the books that all I see is snow.
Okay.
So then she realizes this. It makes more sense than what we got here.
Yes, and then we have this amazing ritual by someone who doesn't believe in her own powers.
Yeah.
And that was quite fun. Let's
do this.
Let's say the words, do the stuff.
Spout some gibberish, whatever.
Isn't he decaying very slowly? But it's very cold up there as well.
Yeah.
Of course. So, okay. We can buy that.
You can buy. And then I applauded. I went like, yes! It's a feel-good moment.
I was totally the opposite. I felt that this was so predictable. I'm glad they didn't drag it out longer, but I expected it to last longer.
Yeah.
Maybe even all season. But Jon Snow was coming back. We knew it. We called it. Everybody did.
Yeah.
And I was like, please don't come back. Please remain dead.
Yeah.
It would have been so unpredictable that he wouldn't come back.
Yeah.
And I would be like, yes, he doesn't come back. But of course he does.
Well, I was almost sure that he was going to come back.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to see him back. For me, it was just a feel-good moment. And
I loved what they did with Ghost. That Ghost sort of realized it 5 seconds earlier. That, wait a minute.
He should have. Yeah, the Ghost should have done more. They should have run up and start licking him or something.
Yes.
Yes. I see you smiling now, so you kind of like to see it anyway.
No, I like Ghost. But I think this step, allowing this resurrection, I hope there is a price, because only death may pay for life.
Yeah, they're kind of jumping the shark here with the, like you said, like they take away the tool, that is death.
Yes, they take away the danger to the characters. So what are the limits of this resurrection power? We've seen it on Benedict Dondarrion, and he has get a small part of himself taken away every time, but that's not the high price to pay for resurrection. And who can be resurrected? Can Stannis be resurrected now? Can we resurrect the Baratheon army?
Yeah.
Can we resurrect Ned Stark?
What can Melisandre do? What can Bran do? What can...
Yes, I hope there is a steep price. So you're like, okay, we don't want to resurrect people unnecessarily, but
this like Pet Cemetery, big price.
This takes away the feeling of danger from the show, and I feel it's super dangerous.
Yeah, like Melisandre should have died or something, or...
Yes, Melisandre's death would do it.
Yeah, death can only pay for life.
A really bad way of doing it would be that this was the power they gained from Shireen's burning, because otherwise that felt pretty pointless.
Yeah, or maybe they sacrifice Sir Davos or something, or
that would be a surprise for Sir Davos, who thought he would get away with Longclaw. And resurrecting Jon was not a good move if you want Longclaw.
Yeah.
But I feel this is dangerous territory, and it could make this into a Disney cartoon. That now death doesn't apply anymore, so every impactful death we will see from now on will have less impact. The Red Wedding would have less impact if it happened now, because we just have to get Robb Stark to the Red Priestess.
I agree, it's very dangerous.
This is so dangerous.
But I felt good when it happened.
I did not.
Okay, so you realized this faster than me or something, or I don't know.
I really wanted him to stay dead.
Yeah.
But he's not dead, he's back.
I wanted him to be alive.
So what happens to Jon Snow now? Is he different?
I don't know. We'll see.
I've been thinking a lot about this.
Looks like he has shorter hair.
We saw his eyes, right? And they were normal.
I didn't see anything in particular with his eyes. So.
Yeah, they weren't blue at least.
They weren't like they didn't have like blindness contacts or anything.
One amazing twist would be that he is, because Tormund said that we should burn the body, but nobody listened to Tormund because he was just in command of this 5,000 army that has now occupied the wall. It would be amazing if Jon is now a White Walker. I know he isn't, but I would love that. I would love if it turned him darker, if the part he lost was his compassion or something like that. Yeah. That he would now execute Ollie for his treason, and we would be totally cold about it.
So we're more like a Jon Stannis thing.
Yes. But if he is just unchanged and just back, it doesn't feel good.
I agree that a darker Jon will be more interesting, absolutely.
And what's his position now? He is technically freed from his vows to the Night's Watch.
Although he could be construed as a Lord Commander also. So.
Yes.
But yes, if you want to be a rules lawyer about it, he could be that.
I seem to remember calling in the preseason show that he would come back and that he would become the king beyond the wall.
Yeah.
That I hope now that he will assign somebody as Lord Commander, or that the Night's Watch somebody else will be Lord Commander.
Yeah.
And that he will now have some higher authority, such as King Beyond the Wall. That he will lead the Wildlings and the Night Watch. In this final war, against the White Walkers.
Oh, okay.
And that he will then, with this higher authority, rally the North and squash. Though I still think that Ramsay will be defeated by Littlefinger.
Oh, okay.
Who is very much absent from these early episodes.
Suspiciously so.
I just rewatched the scene where he was allowed to be Warden of the North by Cersei, so he must be heading here.
Yeah.
Or at least to Winterfell.
Or it'll be a lousy Warden of the North. if he's never there.
Yes.
What houses will he rally? Will he outbribe them to get the Manderlys and the Umbers? Or?
I think, I repeat my predictions, he will become the leading advisor to King Jon.
Ah, okay.
But of course, I can't wait for the next episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's captivating.
Yeah, I want to see more of Bran's revelations and other stuff.
Yes, I'm hot Asian teen of the forest.
That stands for you.
So, let's watch the next episode.
Absolutely.
Thank you all for watching and listening.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, yeah. Game of Thrones, yeah. Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, yeah. Game of Thrones, yeah. Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, yeah. Game of fucking Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones. There are swords and things doing lightning tricks, and they'll take you out if you try to beat them. They'll kill you and stop you and make you Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones. In the lightning they come to take on everyone, and you know it's the Game of fucking Thrones. Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of